BJP culture when Mr. Vajpayee was there was more open, more democratic, and it was more inclusive compared to what it has become today. It has become a very extreme religious party with a lot of extreme stands. They don't have any respect for the democracy of this country, for secularism, and even for the constitution. I remember my leader saying that Mr. Vajpayee was the right man in the wrong party. The DMK did work with the BJP for a brief time, but we made sure that the secularism, the secular fabric of this country was not disturbed to a large extent, and we did not allow them to do exactly what they wanted to. They had to, listen to us. And definitely the BJP culture when Mr. Vajpayee was there was more open, more democratic, and it was more inclusive compared to what it has become today. It has become a very extreme religious party with a lot of extreme stands, and they don't have any respect for the democracy of this country, for secularism, and even for the constitution.
In 2019, you're part of an alliance with the Congress, and as you head into that election, your brother and the leader of the DMK, M.K. Stalin, has declared Rahul Gandhi as the prime ministerial choice of the opposition. Do you feel it was a premature announcement?
As a leader of the DMK, he is talking about the preference of DMK. I mean, everybody has a suggestion. This is a DMK suggestion. That is what he is saying. He is not trying to say everybody has to accept it.
What are your thoughts on Rahul Gandhi? How would you see his leadership?
He has definitely clearly emerged as a very strong leader, but you cannot say he is a strong leader when, in exactly the same terms you would describe Mr. Modi. He is a different answer, a different kind of answer, a person who believes in consensus, a person who believes in taking everybody along, and who is open to suggestions, criticism, and he's a complete, a more democratic leader, and I think he has really emerged as a leader who a lot of other people respect. Leaders who got more experience than him also listen to him and respect his suggestions and ideas.
Does M.K. Stalin, your brother, have the undisputed loyalty of the party? Or are there factions within which can threaten the unity of the DMK?
I think as a journalist with so much of experience, you know the answer. Definitely, very clearly the party stands behind him, and there's no doubt about that. So I think when it comes to the party, it's a party which makes a decision. And everybody who, even if we belong to the family, if you're part of the party, you stand behind him.
What about your brother M.K. Aragiri, who's had a problem with?
I don't think he has been brought back into the party as yet. I'm only talking about people who are within the party.
You don't think there's anybody else who has the stature to challenge M.K. Stalin, given the...
I don't think there's any need to challenge him. We are very happy with the way he works, and we accept him as a leader, and people have accepted him. Party cadres have accepted him.
And you think the test 2019 will be a test where he will prove that his leadership can take DMK to a sweep?
It's not just one election which will prove a person's leadership. Definitely, I'm very sure that DMK is going to do very well in 2019.
But define very well.
40-40.
40-40. You include Pondicherry as well into the...
Yes.
Let me focus on 2019, and I think this is an important election apart from the reasons what we've discussed, also because This will be your first foray into Lok Sabha elections, as you know, with grassroots politics, you know, having served 2 terms as Rajya Sabha MP. Does that make you nervous?
I mean, no decision has been made by the party as yet. I mean, I'm just aspiring. So, yes, definitely. I mean,
you know, let's put that aside and look at the question of going down to the grassroots and campaigning with people. You've attended 40 campaigns in the last 21 days in Thoothukudi. What is the reality check that you get as a politician, as the daughter of M. Karunanidhi, and then going to the grassroots and meeting people?
I've always worked with the people. It's not that I've been cut away from, grassroots level politics. I've always worked, in spite of being in the Rajya Sabha, I've worked with people, and I've campaigned extensively for all the elections. But I think this program which the DMK has come out with, Urachi Sabai, going to the villages, the panchayats, and meeting people there. I mean, for every politician, I think it's a very interesting and a learning experience, because you get to really understand the issues which matter to people, and some of the things which you take for granted.
Is there something as a lesson that you learned? Do you feel that the taint of what happened in the 2G issue and the fact that you've got an acquittal in the court of law removes the taint completely, or is there something? Is this something like a dark cloud that hangs over your head?
No, I think anybody can read the judgment, and nobody can be more clearer about that it was a complete false case. So I really feel, even personally, I feel that the cloud has been removed and taken away, and whatever regrets I have about it, but I still think it was a great learning process. It teaches you a lot about politics, it teaches you a lot about power games, it teaches you a lot about your friends.
I know there must have been many, many moments, but is there one above all, personally, where you found it very, very difficult to deal with his absence, especially as you're heading into an election?
It's not that I miss him when I have to make a difficult decision or something like that. I miss him the most when something good happens to me. Nobody can celebrate it the way a father can.